Well, we have another brutal day in the bag following the over 9% drop yesterday. Tesla is down again, another 3.5%. But oh boy, it doesn't stop there because situation in Israel looks like it's getting a little bit better today. That is seen as a little bit of good news, yet the markets are selling off. Nobody seems to care. Some of your fear assets like gold are yet again outperforming. This is not the greatest news if you are an investor in our markets. That usually means even worse things are to come. Now, we have a lot of news coming out today on Tesla stock we need to get into the charts as well as the option activity. Are people bullish? Are people bearish today in Tesla? Tesla stock at the time of recording this video is trading at $212.72. Things can get volatile in the last half an hour or so of trading, and that's the time period we are in now, so these numbers could be a little bit different, but overall, I think this information stands. It's a pretty rough day for Tesla stock, so do me a favor, if you own Tesla stock, well, today's a good day to let us all know. The best prescription for your complication is a subscription. Hit that subscribe button as well if you guys want to stay up to date with this information each and every single day. Let's not waste your time and let's get straight into it. Like I said, Tesla stock is down about 3.5% today. It's not a great day, and there's actually not that much news that is happening today. What you're seeing in the markets is really just a classical sell stocks. There's a lot of fear out there. The equity risk premium does not look all too great. What that means is if you can get a bond at 5%, it doesn't make a lot of sense investing at stocks, which if you look at the NASDAQ, still close to all-time highs. That just doesn't make a lot of sense if you can get 5% in a risk-free return and you have all of this Middle East conflict going on. That's pretty much the big story of the day today. I do think some of your pre-earnings announcements like your solar stocks are doing terrible today after Solar Edge basically just said everything went down the toilet last quarter. That's really not helping the tone of the markets heading into earnings season as well as Tesla stock. Well, we know what happened there. So a classical kind of sell stocks, move money into safety assets, build up cash reserves. That's probably what's happening here today. Gold today is up 0.36% today. One of the worst indicators for our markets, because why in the heck would you buy gold over buying yourself some sweet stocks like a Tesla? Well, if you're fearful that the global geopolitical tensions could get worse and things could get bad in the economy, well, gold is not a terrible spot to park your money, at least before things really hit the fan. TLT, this is the 20-year Treasury ETF. That is up about 0.5% today. This is actually a little bit of a fear move as well. And again, it's not the greatest sign when Treasury yields are actually dropping and stocks are also coming down big like you're seeing right now. Kind of selling across the board in stocks, buying gold, buying treasuries today. Good news is your dollar tracking the dollar with the XY is not green today. If the dollar was green today, you probably would have seen a much larger down day. And actually, oil is down about 1.29%. Following this news, Israeli officials have now confirmed that 2 Americans have been released by Hamas from the Gaza Strip. This is dying down a little of those fears of this conflict escalating into a bigger regional war. This is having a downside effect on oil, but I'll again say that it's really not having the biggest impact on the markets. The markets initially liked this news, and then you just sold it right back off again. So I would be a little cautious saying this conflict is de-escalating. We really want to see some solid good news come out. From all indications, it looks like Israel is still going to go into the Gaza Strip. That's when you open Pandora's box. That's when the markets could get your big downside. If Iran gets involved, if militias get involved, if Hezbollah gets involved, that's where the situation turns into a potential 20, 30, 40% downside, potentially enter us into a bear market kind of zone. Until that happens, I think you're just getting fears of this. Once the fears get realized and you actually do see this situation escalate, in which I think it will, I think it's only a matter of time. before that does happen. Maybe that's my bias here. I hope for peaceful resolution, but the likelihood of that is not that high. So things probably get worse before they get better, and that is not exactly the greatest position to be in as an equity investor. Now, in terms of Tesla stock, like I said, even following earnings, Tesla was bound to at least hit that 200-day moving average. That indeed has happened today. It looks like you're actually under the 200-day moving average. You bounced a little bit at this level, and then now you're just under that. If you do close, especially in after hours, under that 200-day moving average, that could be a sign of more downside to come. Then your next big level is $200. But really, if you close under the 200-day moving average today, I would expect some form of a relief bounce. Typically, over the past 4 years or so now, ever since 2020, you normally bounce at the 30 on the RSI. On any downside, you hit 30, you tend to get a sharp bounce. Happens almost every single time. Besides back here in January, that was because people were concerned Elon was not running Tesla. Tesla didn't have a CEO. Elon was selling a bunch of stock with no signs of stopping. All of that, I'm not going to rehash all of it, but that's why you didn't bounce at the 30 on the RSI that time around. But every other time, even back here when Tesla was just $100 or $212 per share. Back here on August 18th, you bounced roughly at that 30 level on the RSI. You're now at that level again. I would expect a bounce or at least to trade sideways. But if you don't close above that 200-day moving average, it's almost certain after that relief bounce, you probably fall to at least 200, if not more likely around 180, especially if the markets do get worse. And we're going to go over this a little bit more in depth in the next video. If markets get really bad, Tesla stock could fall a lot more from here. We have earnings coming up. We have economic data. We have the Fed meeting November 1st, as well as the biggest potential bearish catalyst, this Israeli war. Let's now get into all of your Tesla stock news here on the day that you need to know as a Tesla stock investor. Tesla has increased the price of the Model X Plaid in the US by $5,000 or 5.6% to $94,990. No other price changes for any other trims or models. So that's probably a good sign on the higher end versions of Tesla. You're probably seeing some decent demand that is probably outpacing production. That's why they're raising the prices to see if they can get that into an equilibrium. Tesla has decreased the starting price of its 2-hour Megapack commercial energy storage product without installation by $130,000 to $1.32 million from $1.45 million. However, it looks like Tesla raised the price, including installation, by about $123,000. It's not known how many buyers choose for Tesla to install versus doing it themselves. Starting price discount extends to bulk orders as well. Tesla on their support page says, we opened our first V4 supercharger location in Harderwijk, the Netherlands in March 2023, and we will open more V4 sites in the second half of this year. All V4 superchargers are equipped with a longer cable, providing easy access for all EVs. V4 currently supports peak rates of up to 250 kilowatt hours per vehicle and is future-proof to allow for updates and new features. Elon Musk tweeted and said 2 new tiers of X Premium subscriptions are launching soon. One is lower cost with all features, but no reduction in ads, and the other is more expensive but has no ads. You guys might be wondering why we're talking about this. Well, if Twitter does well, or X, well, that's good for you because that means Elon will not have to sell a bunch more Tesla stock. If Twitter started to do bad all of a sudden and advertisers ran away from Twitter, Elon would sell more Tesla stock. Tesla has announced that starting October 20th, 2023, owners with free supercharging can transfer it to a new Model S, X, or Model Y as long as they take delivery by December 31st, 2023. Existing orders in the backlog are eligible. And as Sawyer Merritt does clarify, this is only available to North American purchases. Tesla has now hit 1 million vehicles on the road across Europe. The first Tesla sales center in New Hampshire has just been approved. However, they won't offer servicing there since it's a small storefront. Customers can order there, but will have to take delivery in Peabody, Massachusetts. This tweet, or really quote from Tony Sacconaghi, literally made Elon laugh. He just sent a laughing emoji here. Bernstein analyst Tony Sacconaghi said, quote, to justify Tesla's stock price, investors have to believe it can achieve very high volumes and high operating margins, akin to technology or software companies, not traditional auto companies. Tesla is increasingly looking like a regular auto company. I think it's pretty clear that Elon does not agree with what Tony Sacconaghi just said, and as Sawyer Merritt says, Tesla Energy starts contributing $500 million in profits per quarter, 24% gross margins, and Megapack isn't done ramping. Tony Sacconaghi, Tesla is just an automaker. That couldn't be further from the truth. And for Tesla bulls, this is actually exactly what you want to see happen. Expectations are getting lowered at a rapid pace. This means if you're buying Tesla stock today, you're paying less on a price to earnings basis. Basically, any way you value Tesla, it looks a lot cheaper now than it did before earnings. And also, there's that upside surprise later down the line when Tesla does follow through with their 50% compound annual growth rate, when Tesla does get Cybertruck margins better, or maybe they're just not as bad as what we thought. Maybe there was a little bit of an over-exaggeration because maybe Elon was just trying to be too cautious. Again, Elon was being brutally honest. So you always want to buy a quality stock, a quality company when expectations are low. It's like on a rally in a stock or a short squeeze, right? A trade. You don't want to buy the stock at the high when all the good expectations are already baked in. You want to buy the stock before it ever starts to rally when everyone is pessimistic, as long as, again, it is a quality company. Tesla, there's no higher quality company than Tesla. In other breaking news, Tesla's 2024 model year VIN decoder is now live with the NHTSA, and the document is the VIN decoder for the Cybertruck and the Tesla Semi. The document states there are two Cybertruck variants, dual motor standard designated for Cybertruck and triple motor performance designated for the Cybertruck. It also gives a gross vehicle weight rating for the Cybertruck, Class G greater than 8,000 to 9,000 pounds, Class H greater than 9,000 to 10,000 pounds. Morgan Stanley's Adam Jonas has released a new Tesla note. This follows yesterday's Tesla note. Quote, we see Tesla's incrementally negative outlook as a sign the company wants to err on the side of caution to protect the house at a time of elevated macro, consumer, and geopolitical risk. At various times in Tesla's history, the company's strategy has swung from offensive to defensive. The current tone has clearly shifted to the latter. While the preset may hurt shares near term, we believe this may prove to be the right strategy for the company and its stakeholders over the long term. Again, I really want to highlight this. Tesla just raised $3 billion of cash on their balance sheet within the last quarter. Went from $23 billion to $26 billion. If Dookie hits the fan and it starts to spin, Tesla might get dirty, but it's not going to get that dirty. It's going to be in the best possible position to withstand whatever happens, whatever it is. Tesla's going to be in the best possible position to get through it and come out victorious on the other side while still being able to invest in their business and grow the product line in which we all hope happens. Next generation vehicle, right? Robotaxis, Model 2. Tesla needs to have that cash on hand. Tesla's been doing exactly what it needs to do for years now. This is maybe the time to be a little bit defensive as we don't know what 2024 has in store for the economy. This is exactly what you want to see from a CEO. You don't want to see your stock that you're investing in, your company you're investing in, going head first, diving into a pool that looks like a pool, but really it's just gas on the concrete that looks like water and you smash head first. That's not what you want to see happen. We did see a Cybertruck on the highway. It looks like it just went through bulletproof testing. Not exactly sure, but it definitely looks like bullet holes there to me. So yeah, again, Cybertruck's coming November 30th. Better mark your calendars for that one. I'm sure that will have a bullish effect on Tesla stock, but we really need to see the margin story, what kind of ramp we're going to see. We don't have any of those details. General Motors raised its offer to the UAW today, offering a proposed 23% wage hike and other benefit improvements. This follows Ford at 23%. This follows Stellantis at 23%. The UAW is looking for 25%. This does cripple the UAW, potentially send them into bankruptcy as the EV transition really does get going and they are unable to turn a profit on EVs for a very, very long time. This again, unfortunately, puts Tesla in the best position to survive whereas these other guys are just not. Elon Musk did just confirm that Tesla's bulletproof tested the Cybertruck and no bullets penetrated into the cabin. Elon Musk said, quote, "We emptied the entire drum magazine of a Tommy gun into the driver door AI CAPONE style. No bullets penetrated into the passenger compartment." The U.S. Justice Department is backing one of Tesla's legal arguments in the automaker's lawsuit, claiming that car dealers and others conspired to limit competition through Louisiana's direct-to-consumer automobile sales ban. Tesla stock in the land of options has seen 700 institutional and hedge fund trades worth $201.34 million with a positive order value of 42%. It does not look like there's a lot of bullish trades heading on to Tesla stock, but again, the cheaper you can buy this company, that's what you want to see if you are truly a long-term investor. I don't care if Tesla stock's down another 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. You know the thing's gonna 10, 20, 30x in the future, maybe even more than that, depending how the course of history goes. I would be shocked if you get anything less than that. This is your acquiring phase. This is when you want to acquire as much of the company as you possibly can. I think most of you guys understand that, but a lot of people do want instant gratification and do want an ever higher stock price, which is great in the short term, but you really want to get as much ownership as you possibly can. That's what we are doing right now. That's what we're doing in the trading community. We did make a position today in Tesla, adding to the position. If you guys want to be a part of it, check out the link down below in the description of this video. If we take a look at Google Trends data for the Model S, X, Y, and 3, you are seeing an elevated uptick in Google Trends data for at least the Model Y, Model S, and Model X. The Model 3 is staying roughly where it was. It's down about 1 point within the last week. Not a huge deal, it looks like. Still, interest is very much elevated compared to where we have been in the past. The AI investor sentiment, 34.1% are bullish, 31.3% are neutral, and 34.6% are bearish. Nobody knows. This is probably the most even AI bullish sentiment tracker we have seen in a very long time. Nobody has a clear direction of where things are going to go for our markets, and after all, there's a lot of risks out there, right? There's no House Speaker, so it looks like not too much is happening over there. Possibly facing another government shutdown towards the mid of November. Geopolitical tensions, a 10-year treasury at almost 5%. There's a lot going on here. An economy teetering into a recession ever so slowly. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Are you neutral? I don't know. Let me know down below in the comment section. And holy smoly, ladies and gentlemen, holy guacamole, biscuits to your gravy. Look at this. The 10 and 2 year yield curve inversion is almost fully uninverted. It's only inverted 16 basis points. Back in July, it was inverted over 1%. As you can see from this chart, when you actually are uninverted, it's not the problem. It's when you go uninvert again, when you go back positive, that's where you are about to go into a recession almost instantly or within the next 1, 2, 3 months. And that is what is happening over here on the 10 and 2 year inversion. Same thing here if you look at the 10-year and the 3-month inversion, you're trying to go positive here as well. If this one goes positive, then you're really going to be heading into a recession. And this one is only inverted 0.62%. Yeah, it's not looking so good out there, guys. So again, make sure you guys are on the lookout for that video coming out at 9 p.m. tonight if you're curious on where I think Tesla stock is going here next. That is going to do it for this video. I think we covered just about everything. One thing I know we did not cover is the bond yields. We did talk about TLT, but your 30-year treasury yields down about 2 basis points today. 10-year treasuries down about 6 basis points today. Investors are actually buying the bonds. Some of that is a fear move, as well as investors buying gold. Again, a fear move. This fear move is not having the best effect on our markets. NASDAQ down about 1.3% heading into the last final minutes of trading, guys. That is going to do it for this video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. Let me know what you think about all of this information. If you guys, again, want to come join the trading community, link down below in the description of this video. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.